40 million tourists visit Vegas year-round. But did you know that over 2 million locals call Vegas home? This is Vegas is a show that takes a look inside locals, who they are and how they impact the community. My name is Maral, and I am here to show you a different perspective of Vegas. As you can see, sometimes it's easy to misplace things when you have so much clutter. So let's go check out the container guys, where minimalism is the new way of life. The containers are as high as 20 and 40 feet long, and were built to connect and interlock, as well as stack easily like Lego bricks. These containers were built to withstand rain, wind, earthquakes, tornadoes, hurricanes, and even tsunamis. Millions of these containers ended up abandoned, which brings us to a movement of architects who are creating alternative housing options and using these eco-friendly building materials just for that. Meet the container guys.
Hi, I'm Tony Lopez with Alternative Living Spaces.
And I'm Chris Bonito with ATU Container Living.
And together we are the Container Guys.
What is the square footage in here?
Yeah, so a standard 20-foot container is 8 feet wide by 20 feet long, so it's around 160 square feet. And then they come in different sizes, so there's a 40-foot container, those are 320 square feet.
Okay.
And then you can actually take a 40-footer, you can cut off as much as you want from the 40-footer, so you can make a 30-footer.
So a girl like me has a lot of shoes. I try to get rid of them, but then somehow they just creep up back into my closet. Where could I put my shoes in this place?
We have like a 2.1 version of this.
Okay.
Where we kind of flip the kitchen the other way, we put it against the other wall, we push this down, and we make this an entire wardrobe closet.
Oh, nice.
So you can still have a window and still make a wardrobe closet. For this unit, there's storage under the bed.
Oh, that's good.
And there's also storage right here where basically flips up and there's 6 cubbies inside of there.
Oh, okay. So everything that you pretty much see can technically be a storage unit.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
No, you can fit whatever storage. We customize them to people's different needs. So some people might say, hey, I might not need as big as kitchen, or hey, I really don't need as big as bathroom, or hey, I want a bigger bathroom. So we customize it to design it around the person. That's basically what's important to them.
Right.
So we'll sit down with you. We'll kind of design it around what your needs are. If you want a big closet, we can make a big closet, or we can design a really cool shoe rack that comes out of the ceiling or out of the floor. I mean, there's so many different ways. I mean, it's the possibilities are endless with this, to be honest with you.
One thing that I do know is that a lot of people these days, including myself, I don't want to be like committed to something. Like, I don't want like a huge mortgage payment. I don't want a big car payment, because I really want to travel. I want to enjoy my friends and family. So it's very enticing to me, to be honest with you, to think that I can travel and then come back to wherever I am and have a place to sleep. What would my average mortgage payment be like if I had a decent credit? I mean, average.
Yeah.
What would you say?
Like this unit that we're in right now sold for $39,000, and this unit on an 8-year mortgage, your payment would be about $400 a month.
Wow.
So almost like a car payment.
That's amazing.
You're like $4,000 down.
That's
in between
amazing.
$400 and $450 a month. And not only that, but you had said, I want to come back to a place.
Right.
We can put these on trailers and you can bring it with you. So there's two different
you
ways.
sold me already.
There's two different ways of doing it. We can make this so that it hooks up like an RV. We can go off grid and do solar and that kind of stuff. And then we have the option of actually leaving it somewhere like an RV park or a mobile home, or buying a piece of land and putting it on there.
Okay.
So there's a lot of different options depending on what you're, what you're looking for.
And it can be extended as well, right? If you do want to add an additional piece to it, let's say.
Yeah, what's cool about them? Yeah, what's cool about them is they're kind of like Lego pieces. You know what I mean? It's like they're blocks, and so there's people that want to stack them, people want to connect them. So there's all kind of different, applications that you can use for these. So yeah, definitely flexible.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So obviously we live in a place. Well, in the U.S., depending on where you are, we can be in a hurricane, tornado, flood. How does that work in a unit like this? Am I going to be safe?
So, with it being a steel shipping container, this is rated for winds, even though if it's not attached to the ground, 150 mile an hour winds. You can do hurricane-proof glass. Not only that, but we can make units where natural disasters are more common, where we can make shutters that actually part of the unit and fold over the windows. We can do doors inside the unit that you can shut the real doors of the container behind it and make it completely weatherproof. Waterproof, airtight, the whole deal. So you can wait out a storm.
Really?
Or, and we're going to be talking with FEMA and different, organizations that help people that are rebuilding. So we can pull one of these down to Florida while they're rebuilding their house and have people stay in the house from the unit.
That have been in a natural disaster?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
So we can have them brought down there. FEMA can provide it, put it down there, and then basically they can have their home rebuilt while they're still able to have somewhat of a life.
Yeah.
While their house is being rebuilt, or before the tragedy happens, we can get some of these units to where we can have like maybe a small community
safe house or something,
or even a community where these are built so that, hey, the hurricane's coming, let's lock it down and call it a day, and now these aren't going anywhere.
So it really makes sense just for natural disasters, all that stuff.
They were two customers in a barbershop conversing about life, entrepreneurship, and business. 2 years later, a couple of haircuts led to a lasting friendship, a business partnership neither one of them imagined. How did you guys meet?
So it was a Sunday, I needed a haircut, and so I went to the local barbershop. The guy that was getting a haircut, at the moment, I overheard him talking, and he was talking about how he does custom furniture, and how he builds all these different things.
Was it this guy right here?
It was this guy right here, and I thought, man, I gotta meet this guy, because I needed some custom furniture done at the time.
He looks like he has a good haircut too, by the way.
You're right, he still goes to Richie. This is the same haircut.
Yeah,
right
I won't
here.
let anybody else touch my head. He's been doing it for 12 years, 13 years, so I've been going to Richie, and I was sitting there just kind of talking over with Richie.
Yeah.
What I did, and he was asking me about some stuff that he wanted. So Tony, the first thing he said is, "Hey man, I gotta talk to you." He's like, "What do you do?" And so I started talking to him. He sat in the chair next to me, and we started conversing. I waited for him to get his haircut done. We went out to Joey's Pizza and grabbed a slice and sat down, talked about it for a little bit, and I brought him to my house, showed him some of the stuff that I did, and basically started from there. And he said, "Man, you got to come to my house. You got to check out this project that I'm working at in my parents' backyard." And I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." I'm like, "A container tiny house, okay." I'm like, "Cool, I'll come check it out," because I was always into the tiny house thing. I always wanted to build them, and it was just like one of those things that was in the back of my mind. I never really thought it was going to happen. So he said, "Yeah, you come check it out." So we got together, and I came over, and he said, "Man," it was an empty container. He's like, "What do I do with this?" And I'm like, "Man," he's like, I kind of want to do a Murphy bed that comes off the wall, and really don't have a whole lot of knowledge on that stuff." So I was like, "Yeah, man, let's," so I took a sketch pad basically in 15, 20 minutes, came up with something. He's like, "Man," he's like, "Okay, I can see kind of where this is going." He's like, "This is cool." So we got together over the next couple weeks and built the interior of it, and that's how our friendship kind of started.
Yeah.
These miniature housing units create a significantly smaller carbon footprint than your average sized house.
Right now, there's over 4 million unused containers in the United States. Now that fluctuates with time. Sometimes there's at some points, there was one point where it's 12 million that was unused. So we basically recycle them, and sometimes they're only one-use containers. So it comes over from China, has TVs in it, and they retire the unit. So basically you have a brand new container sitting there in a yard not doing anything. There's so many different multi-purposes that this could use, but like for the home and for people like minimalistic and kind of don't want to be house poor, where they can afford something. I mean, I think we're kind of creating a space where it's in between an apartment where you pay $600 to $1,200 a month. Now I know at 18, in between 18 and 30, or even 25, where people are stuck in an apartment where they don't have enough credit, or you know, they don't really necessarily want to make the commitment of a 3,000 square foot house or even a 1,500 square foot house. I think we created that space in between there. Now the good thing about that is, you know, not a lot of people at 18 can buy their own house. Now we kind of created a space where you actually can. And I think that people don't want to be house poor and they want to have life experiences and, you know, like you said, travel, family, friends, go different places. And I think that this actually, you know, creates that space where you can do it.
Like one of the biggest issues is we spend our whole life working and man, it takes us 30 years to pay off a home. Like all these hours I put into work that just go into paying off some place that maybe I'm not even spending a lot of time at. And so I just remember thinking, man, there's got to be a better way to this. Like and I've always thought of business as like what's a problem that's out there and how can we solve it? If you can find a way to solve a problem, you got a business.
Correct.
And so I was like, man, this is a real problem. Like if we could actually, if there's a way to solve this problem, it'd be awesome. Yeah, so another thing that's cool about it is the environmental footprint on these units is just super small. And so not only, you know, square footage wise, you're only taking up 160 square feet, but we have a client, the next one we're gonna be doing, it's gonna be going to Portland, Oregon, and she's looking to do completely solar. And so that you have an option there to say, hey, I'm gonna have a unit that's completely off grid. So we can do a solar package on the unit, you can have water tanks, sewage tanks, everything kind of just right there, and even have the unit on wheels to where literally it's not going to affect the environment at all.
What is your hidden passion or intention behind what you're doing?
Yeah, so for me, I think I've noticed in life the thing that has always brought me the most fulfillment and joy isn't making a lot of money, but it's giving back. And so one of my big desires for this business is for it to be able to be something that gives back. And I see that in the fact that containers are the ultimate, I mean, they're just a great solution to the homeless problem. And here in Vegas, we have a huge homeless problem. And in the nation, we have, you know, right now, like Chris had mentioned earlier, there's 4 million unused containers. Like you can really outfit these things for an affordable price to be used for people that are in need, that need a place to stay. And so I know, you know, for me, the thing that kind of brings me the most passion and makes me want to keep kind of pushing this and driving it forward is one, to help the homeless. And also, I just love the minimalism, like the philosophy behind minimalism. And just think, man, so often it's all about, can I get more, can I get more, can I get more, instead of how can I give back?
For me, my wife and my kids, you know, we have 3 kids. Nicholas is 16, Carly is 12, and we have a little guy, AJ, and he's 7. And for me, I wanted to do something greater for them and for something for them to be able to get behind. Between people being homeless and hungry, I think we can solve at least one problem at a time, and this is, I think, a solution to that problem.
So I want to give you guys a little present. In the Armenian culture, which I am Armenian, when you visit someone's house for the first time, you always bring them some type of a present or gesture, and I thought this was very appropriate for you guys. Little mini cups for a little mini house.
That is perfect.
That's perfect.
Now, I'm gonna make you guys some Armenian coffee. This is how we drink it. So.
Okay, sweet.
All right, here you go. Now it's really strong, so I don't know if you've had coffee today. Enjoy. Cheers.
All right,
Cheers.
Guys, I have a friend who's a musician, and she is a minimalist. And I told her about your house, and is it okay if I, well, I kind of told her to come by already, but is it okay if she comes by and checks it out?
Totally.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely. Okay.
Sounds good.
Hi, Jessica. Come on in.
Hi.
This is Chris
Hi.
and Tony.
Nice to meet you.
Hey, nice to meet you, Jessica.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
This young woman is a Las Vegas-based soul singer, songwriter, and guitar player. Meet Jessica Manalo. Her Her self-titled EP was released in 2015, and since then, Jessica has been working non-stop to share her music with the world.
Have you ever considered living in a tiny home?
Yes, especially for what I do. I feel like I'm always in and out of the house. I'm mostly out of the house 24/7, so I always, I'd like to come home to something simple, you know? So,
right on. Well, yeah, we'll show you around this place just so you know, like the thing you're sitting on right now, this is our sofa / queen bed. So this actually folds out into a queen bed as well. It could also kind of function as a chase lounge. And this is like, if you can kind of just imagine this space, this is your living room / bedroom area. So this is your place to hang out, watch TV, as well as your space to go ahead and crash when you get home and ready for bed.
So underneath here too, we have some storage, and as well as underneath here, we have this, which is also storage. It has some cubby holes in it, and you can basically go down and, you know, for a minimalistic person, I'm sure this is more than enough space. Also, we have a 2-burner cooktop stove. The water heater is actually underneath here. Everything's electric, and this is only really plugged in just with a simple plug. We have it plugged in right into the wall, so it really doesn't take a lot of power. You're looking at maybe a bill under $50 a month, maybe less, depending on how much you use it. And then you also have the opportunity too to make some of these things propane powered. So it'll even cut down more on your electric bills.
So super cost
effective for sure.
Yeah, and like what's cool about it, you can kind of notice just from here how thick the insulation is. So there's 4 to 5 inches of insulation. This AC unit right here is for something that's twice the size of this.
A heater as well?
It's a heater as well, yep. So you can use it for that. And yeah, like Chris was saying, it'd be super affordable, very cheap. All the lights are LED. And one thing that's pretty cool, if you want to pull it over, Chris, is the bar cart. This,
I like bars.
You like the bar here?
It's portable!
So we flip it this way, and say you have like you and someone else, you know, you got date night or something.
This is so cool.
Get real serious.
And then now you have a place you can kind of just post up, hang out, watch a movie, and you can have some food here, have your drinks here, and go to hang out. So
everything's kind of, we try to, you know, do things that were dual purpose.
Yeah.
As much as we can use the space, as small as it is, we try to make it seem larger with the windows, with the color of the walls.
And that whole thing goes up, I'm assuming.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll show you how this works. These are the blinds for you.
Oh, cool.
So super simple.
Wow. Stores. It's a nice bathroom. It's a little sink. Got the little thing under here. Love it. And this shower is huge. Like
So, what did you think about the tiny little house?
I totally love it. I would totally I would love to have this place for myself. And my little pup.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And you can have friends over and we can watch movies.
That's all I need. I really like the white walls and the I'm a big fan of wooden, just anything.
Yeah.
No, so like that door
is
beautiful.
I know, it's really cool with the is that a blue
Yeah.
turquoise kind of?
I don't know. I love it though. But the bar made out of wood, that's totally my thing. The floor, and how tiny it is, but I could still get around in here, and that's all I really need.
I can totally see you hanging out here, practicing your songs. I can see it, totally.
We could do that.
Yeah?
Let's do that, yeah.
Like right now?
Like right now.
Oh, yes! She's gonna sing us a song.
Down my spine, and all this green around me, I think it's gonna kill me, and I just keep on speeding up. My cheeks is red as sheet of fire, and I know I'm giving up. Place my heart desires, it, I feel right in my bones. 'Cause I remember all the nights my skin grew cold, and my blood is running low and low. And I hear the fire and you're so far away from home.